Have a Portuguese lead jammer this time in number 12. That's Anywhere. Anywhere approaching the back of the pack. Thought she got some quick points, but now she's going to have to work for it as cutting the track called against Nunda. So she'll take a seat in the notorious penalty box. Two Brazilian skaters in there.
Yeah, the power jams were really what gave Brazil a hard time earlier in the second half, as Bianca was the jammer that kept on going in and in and in at the penalty box, and now here goes Nunda. So good on the Portuguese blockers for causing those penalties.
Anywhere picking up some more points as a huge tumble.
And now here goes Anywhere to the notorious RD penalty box right before she was trying to call off the jam. She picked up a track cut.
Back into action is Nunda. And once again, that amazing blocking and a little bit of extracurricular activity afterwards. Whew. And they're going to call that against Nunda.
And Nunda's going to go back to the penalty box. A second penalty in the same jam for Nunda, who skated relatively clean in the first half. Now picking up two penalties in a row. Springs up Anywhere back into action. She's completed her initial pass long ago, and there are 17 seconds left in this half. Let's see what she can do with it.
Portugal just hanging back, allowing Anywhere to take care of her own business. She takes a deep breath and comes back around for another scoring pass.
5 seconds.
Let's see how many points she can get in here. They've got her bottled up, but she was able to pick up a couple of points at the end there.
The whole thing. 5 points. 5 points for Anywhere. Definitely a key jammer for the Portuguese squad. Anywhere, of course, out of roller derby Porto in southern Portugal.
3 minutes to go. It's about...
well, it's 16 points.
16 points. Thank you. Yeah. Your math kicked in. My mad cow kicked in. Here we go. It is Picante out there starting the jam in a power jam, but she is joined very quickly out of the penalty box, and into lead jammer is Nunda. That was a swift move.
Yeah, she kind of had to get it. She had to get it, and I bet she felt like she almost had to get it because she'd committed those two penalties, and there she goes, calling it right off. 4 points, padding that lead. Ever so important, especially when there's 2:20 left in the first half. So Brazil now 155 and Portugal 135, 20 points in 2 minutes.
It seems like there's a little bit of trash talking going on out there too, because I'm seeing some face-to-face stuff.
Are you surprised?
Well, they all speak Portuguese.
Exactly, and so they understand.
So making her way is Blood Runner. Blood Runner is the lead jammer for Portugal. And finally, the Brazilian jammer breaking out of the pack, that is G. But Blood Runner easily picking up 4 points.
Yeah, and
she'll call it off.
Yeah, she cannot call it off quickly enough. Either she was going to bank that, her blockers were going to hold the Brazilian jammer and try to keep going, but that's a really tough bargain, especially when there's a minute and a half left on the clock. They're going to try and get the opposite jammer to commit a penalty so they can get that power jam.
So here's how we stand. 139 for Portugal, 155, 109 to go in the game. It is Nunda against Anywhere on what could be the last jam of this game.
Yeah, two-star jammers laying it all on the track. You don't want to leave anything out.
Anywhere pushed to the outside and getting out for the possible points here and possibly being able to seal the deal is Nunda. Whew. She basically just has to keep scoring, and this one will be in the books.
Yeah, and more importantly, don't go to the box.
Nunda just very calmly going through, using finesse, using the sideways skating. That was just beautiful for the Grand Slam. 21 in the game, 117 in the jam. Nunda getting ready to light a victory cigar.
Oof, that looked like it hurt, and suddenly she woke up.
She's okay.
Yep, she's okay. That was number 84, Andrea.
And the clock runs out, and the jam is called off, and the Brazil with your victory.
Yeah, Brazil, a hard-earned victory from the Brazilian team. That's a win. And congratulations to the Brazilian team. However, it's not over for the Portugal team because they are part of Group 2, which includes France, those two teams, and Switzerland. And the top two teams that will move forward are the ones with the biggest point differential of the 3 games that they will have played. So it can still happen for Portugal. If I were Brazil, I would not be... I would not be resting on this one, and I would go, just put the pedal to the metal for the next 2 games if they want to make it through the knockout round.
Patrick, it has been an absolute pleasure to call this bout with you, and we're going to get some instant analysis from some pretty good guys coming up.
Yep, Bob and Statman, over to you, trackside. This is one game you want to analyze.
Absolutely.
Hello, check. And hi, this is Bob Noxious once again with Statman. And Statman, tell us, what are we looking at right here on track number 1 at the moment?
Well, the elation we saw from Team Brazil still going on right behind us. That was, I think, them just winning second place in that group. I think that bout was the battle for second, and Brazil have just samba'd their way through to the knockout stage.
Nice.
I had to say it.
What else you got there?
Well, France won their first round bout in this group, and I think what we saw from France was a lot more than what we saw last time from France,
Yeah, there's no question about that. France last time, they come in, and they look okay. I think we actually thought they would mix a little better with some of the other European teams. This year, they came to play, and we saw that out of the men's team, too. So we know Derby overall has hit a new height there.
That's right. The French have reached an absolute new level with roller derby. They have a large number of WFTDA teams there in France, and that's only growing. They're turning into a derby power in Europe, as one would expect. But let's move on to Group 1 now, which we were also on this track earlier.
Okay.
And just to remind you, Group 1 was New Zealand, Norway, Wales, and South Africa. Now, New Zealand beat Norway, and that's a result that probably doesn't surprise anyone. And, of course, it's a wonderful thing to watch a haka first thing in the morning, right, Bob?
There's nothing quite like a haka first thing in the morning. The other thing, too, is we remember New Zealand as being a physical team. They didn't hold up on Norway at all.
No, they didn't. They left nothing back. That was a brutal bout. But it was an exciting bout, and it showed what New Zealand had. And then the next bout, Wales came on against South Africa, and that was 2 X factors. We've seen Wales play in Europe, but their current play in Europe was not what one would like from Wales. They underperformed in 2 straight tournaments, if I may be so bold as to say they underperformed. And South Africa were a total X factor. And that bout, Wales showed a completely different team. They showed that they knew what they were doing. They had done the drills. They had done the practice. They're going to be a contender.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. They started out a little slow against South Africa. South Africa, quite honestly, looked very good considering we didn't really know what to expect from them.
Well, I spoke with a couple of South African skaters, and they said the number one thing they've been drilling is endurance. That there's nothing they can do about knowing all of the strategies, but they can definitely nail down being able to skate longer and harder than their opponents.
Well, if you got endurance down, you've got discipline and basics down, you're always in a game. So they look pretty good. Wales, again, from the level of men's, we've seen Wales escalate its game overall. And what else? You got anything else there for us? That's why he's the stat man.
That's why I'm the stat man. Well, that's all that we've had on this track. On the other track, Scotland is finishing up their win against Mexico. And I hear that Ireland have finished defeating Spain, setting up an Ireland-England bout that is going to be absolutely thrilling. And that's over in Group 6. In Group 5, we've seen Australia and Belgium both take a win against Italy and Greece, respectively. And in Group 7 and 8, Canada and USA, of course, won as one would expect. But in Group 7 and 8, the excitement is going to come down to that do-or-die bout.
Yeah, that's you have to remember. Group 7 and 8 only have 3 teams, so they're up against the superpowers, basically. It's going to be a fight between those other 2 teams to get in.
Well, and no one can advance from those groups on score difference because someone is going to win and someone is going to lose between those bottom 2 teams. And someone's going to advance simply based on that one bout, as opposed to these groups where you've got 3 bouts to sort it out. Those are going to be exciting, Bob.
That's right. So you've got myself, Bob Noctis. I'm here with Statman. We are in Dallas enjoying the Blood and Thunder Roller Derby World Cup. And should we take them back to the regular scheduled programming?
Sounds good to me, Bob.
All right, sounds good to me too.